There is a word called methophobia, which is the fear, stress, and anxiety that you face when you study maths. In fact, scientists looked at MRI scan of young students solving maths paper and were gauzed to find the reaction to numbers as though they were snakes or spiders. But the good news is that years of research has proven that there is indeed no maths gene or no maths brain, and anyone can learn and be good at maths even at the highest levels. So, let's delve deep into what scientific techniques tell us about how to study maths and how to face that maths exam. Hi, this is Tanya and you are watching Socialite Tanya. In today's video, I will give you 5 scientifically researched techniques to ace your maths exam, including one technique to use during the examination, and I'm also gonna give you 3 bonus tips, so stay tuned till right till the end, and I can assure you by the end of this video you are going to feel lesser afraid and more motivated. In her book A Mind for Numbers, Barbara Okres says that imagine a flashlight. It has 2 modes. One is the focus mode. This is when you concentrate on a given set of information. This is very important for maths problem solving and also to practice concepts that you are already familiar with. The second mode is called the diffuse mode. This is the big picture mode. This is what happens when you relax your mind a little and let it wander a bit. This is also very essential for maths, especially when you want to gain new insights into problems that you are already struggling with, or you want to understand something new. Let's take an example again. 2 errors in the sentence are obvious because they are spelling errors and you just used the focused approach. But what about the third error? Now the third error is the statement is untrue. There are in fact only 2 errors in the statement, but this you will come to know only when you use the diffuse mode. So if somebody tells you that all you need to do is practice from morning to evening, then tell them that you are not going to be adequately utilizing your diffuse mode. So in order to learn maths, we need to balance 3 modes: the focus mode, the diffuse mode, and the sleep mode. Stanford researcher and maths professor Jo Boaler looked at MRI scans of young students studying maths, and she found that 2 out of the 5 pathways that were engaged were visuals. She believes that finger perception and visual support is really very important for us to help in learning maths. Let's take an example again. A group of students was given these shapes and asked how they believe the shapes were growing. She got very different answers, and if you move the squares around and rearrange the shapes, you will find that it actually grows like a square, and that is why this is the solution. So basically, whenever you are solving maths problem, draw a diagram, a table or a chart whenever possible, even if the examiner is not asked for it, and you will be able to solve that problem much better. Most people believe that maths ability is about speed and accuracy, and they will tell you to do 100 sums a day to get practiced. But maths is a problem solving, and real problem solving is all about struggling, trying different methods, failing and trying again, and if you really don't get it, get up from there and leave and go elsewhere. Come back another time, try a different method, and you are gonna find this much easier. This is a concept of deep practice. Einstein has once said, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." I'm actually going to give you 3 little strategies within this overall technique of exam strategies. Read the toughest question first and then get on to the easy problem and start solving them. Now, many people will tell you to first solve the most easy problems, but there is a very good reason why skimming over the toughest problem before you start solving the easy problems is a good idea, because as you are solving these easy problems, your subconscious mind is working on that tough problem. At the end of it, when you get to that tough problem, it's a lot easier for your brain to sort that out. Read each question twice and to write down every bit of information that's given in the question in the answer sheet first of all, and then try to do as many steps as you can. Even if you don't know the answer, even if you don't know how to solve it, maybe draw a diagram or a chart, you will get some points for this at least. While revising your paper, take a different sequence because this helps the brain spot careless mistakes. Overall, don't be in a rush and don't worry if someone else finishes the paper before you. So many times we are struggling with maths, we wonder why do we have to do this complicated stuff when we never gonna use it anywhere. So, understanding the real world applications of what we are studying is one of the best ways to make this easier to understand. So let's take an example. The regression effect states that if a variable produces an unlikely outcome, the next outcome will be closer to the mean. Now, this explains why an author's second novel is sometimes not as good as its first big out success, and why sometimes children of extremely tall parents may be average in height. And also children of extremely short parents may sometimes be closer to the mean. Now for the bonus tips. I'm going to give you some useful websites or apps that you can use for your step-by-step problem solving. Revise all your mistakes, questions that were wrong, whether in a test or a midterm or any other assignment that you submitted. Check all those questions that you made mistakes in and before exam. Circle those questions in your book that you found difficult, even if you were able to solve it, but if you struggle with that question, circle the question so that when you are revising for the exam, you know which one to go back to and try one more time. Before we conclude, I want to share a quote from Stephen Hawking. No matter how difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. So I sincerely hope that I have helped you succeed in maths, and thank you so much for watching right till the end. Press the subscribe button and a bell icon right next to it. Happy watching.